So when I first heard of John Maxwell, it actually came from my father. As a pastor's kid, he was a natural-born leader, obviously as a pastor, and so I was fortunate enough to learn about this guy that literally wrote a book about leadership, something that I wanted to do that I was inspired by because I seen my father do so. So when I was a kid, I didn't really understand what a leader looks like, but unknowingly to me, it was inside me all along. And as I read the different John Maxwell books, Developing the Leader Within You, 1.0 and 2.0, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and different John Maxwell books, I realized that a leader not only is who I am, but who I am to become as well. Because becoming a leader is an ongoing life journey. So as that little kid who was naturally outgoing, always, having a fun, good time, and, captain on this basketball team, maybe first one picked in sports, I never knew I had that influence. And now here I am, a youth leader, a basketball coach, and someone that I can say young people look up to. The rules, the laws that I followed, the wisdom that I gained from the books has brought me to now be a married man who's living an inspired life of wanting to be the best leader that I could possibly be. So I would say the book that most resonated with me was Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. Just because I think the season that I read it in, it really hit for me, more so than the first time because I was a little younger. So when I read it, I was actually in a position of leadership at my local church, and there were some things that I needed to learn about me that really resonated with me. A lot about communication, because I'm one to just talk to people and not really be concerned with how I may be speaking or how I may be perceived. But as I learned here today, that someone is feeling a certain type of way from me every single second. So I need to be intentional, not only with my energy, not only with my communication, my verbal communication, my body language. I have to be consistent as well. My face needs to align with my words. Body language is a huge thing. It's more than 90% of how we communicate. So it was something I really needed to focus on. And I got a lot of that in Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. So I definitely underlined in my notes a couple times the law of one more. Ed Mitel really hit home for me when he was describing, some of his personal stories, because I think I'm one to believe that we can all do one more. We can all do one more thing that either helps us, or of course we could all do one more thing that negatively impacts us as well. And I think in life that we always come across decisions whether we want to quit or give up or continue to go on. And sometimes our mind may tell us, you can't do something, or somebody else may even tell you can't do something. But I believe we have, according to the law of one more, that you can always do one more than what anybody else says or what even your mind can tell you. You're powerful enough, and God has placed in you the strength to always go one more. And I think that was really powerful about how we dove into that. And that's underlined a couple times in my notes. John Maxwell, first and foremost, thank you for who you are. Thank you for that, the leader that you've become and the leader that you are still becoming today. Thank you for the millions, and yeah, I mean millions, potentially even billions of leaders that you have cultivated, impacted, and truly learned to serve throughout your lifetime. Thank you for everything that you've built with you and your team, and inspiring a young kid who didn't really know much about what leadership was, but can now look back and see that you have inspired a leader from 6 years of age until now. John Maxwell, truly is my aspiration to, I guess the closest comparison to say is to become the next you, but in my own way. I want to be Isaiah Stewart, a leader who cultivates leaders, who cultivates the next John Maxwell, who encourages the next Ed Mitel, who builds up the next generation to truly transform their lives, their community, and their world. And this is all thanks to what you've invested into me and to the leaders of this generation. Thank you, sir. Yo, if you have not been to Live to Lead, this is my first time here in Atlanta. I flew down all the way from Connecticut. If you have not been here, you have got to get here next year. I'm telling you, this thing is life-changing. I'm going home a better man. I'm going home a better husband. I thought I was going to be a better leader just from coming here. No, it's man, husband, believer, if that applies to you, businessman. I'm going home with a better mindset. So if you have not been to Live to Lead, I encourage you, Online, yeah, you still kind of get it, but like, do your best to get here. It is an experience unlike no other. I will see you here next year for sure.